And take us through the Pong aspect, because I know when you got to Atari and you got that rocket on the screen, everything expedited, I'm sure. I'm sure everything just, ramped up, and, the aha moments just kept coming through, and then the Pong game. So what was it from the first image on the screen to the first series of Pong games? Now, was it an expedited process, or was that me generalizing the process?
No, it was a total
Mm.
accident, a total serendipity. We started getting a little bit of traction with Atari. I might mention I licensed computer space to another company, so I was getting royalties and a little bit of a reputation. But what happened was that I finally, Ted and I finally got enough money together that we could hire our first engineer, and because we had more contract work. And Atari started out, we thought we were just going to be a contract house where we design games for others, because we had no money, no factory. It was one of those things where we said, okay, we're contract engineers, we're hired guns. And then we were successful with that, got more work than we can handle, and we hired Al Alcorn. And just at that time, I heard that there was another video game company. And I said, wow, I had no idea that we had competition. So supposedly there was a demo at the Hyatt House up in Burlingame. And I drove up and I went in, and it was Magnavox with their Odyssey game. And I went in and I looked at it and I said, oh, what a piece of shit. But then I looked a little closer, and people were kind of having fun with it. And I said, boy, if it was fuzzy, it was, really blocky, it had no sound, it had no score, it had these stupid overlays. And so I thought to myself, if my technology was going to be applied to that, I could make it a better game. But that's about as far as it went. Driving back to Sunnyvale, where our offices were, actually it was Santa Clara. It was Al Alcorn's first day, and he showed up. He says, okay, what do you want me to do? And I hadn't really thought about it, but I wanted to give him something that was simple. So I described Pong, and I said, this is your project. And two paddles going like this, the ball going back and forth. And he said, okay. Literally a week later, he had it running. He had it wired right up there. And we played it. It was kind of fun. The first change was the paddles. When you simulate physics. Is this too much detail?
No, not at all.
No,
I think the
perfect.
audience needs to hear exactly this process of what were the paddles? Where did we get these things from?
What happened? What went wrong with the paddle?
They operated like actual physics. Angle incidence equals angle reflection. What that did is it said it was only a defensive game. There was no way to direct the ball. It would always, angle incidence, angle reflection. Right. And so the first change we did is we segmented the paddle so that if you hit the top corner, it would angle up. If you hit the bottom corner, angle down. If you hit the center of the paddle, it would go straight across. Then it got to be really fun. That was like a massive game changer.
Right.
The next thing that happened,
the strategy starts to kick in.
Well, yeah. Well, then we realized that after a while we got too good at it, and the volleys were lasting too long. So we decided to count the volleys and then speed the ball up as the volleys increased. That kind of fixed that a little bit, but you could still get really good at it. So we decided on the last coup de grace, because we wanted to, if you can shorten the game time but yet keep it fun, you earn more quarters, because you're not using as much time. And so then if the volleys got very high, the paddle dropped in half. And that was kind of like secret sauce. Then we wanted to add sound and score. Al had those things up and going, and we had a game. And so I took it to Chicago, thinking that I could license it to Bally Manufacturing, who was one of our contractors. And they didn't want it.